Hey guys, welcome to the Fool Show. It's Friday, so that means it's time to make the picks. Alright, if you're watching my Michigan versus Wisconsin preview, you already know, no surprise, at least this game, I'm predicting Michigan to win that game about 28-17, 27-17, about 10-point win. Quietly confident the team can get it done. I think they're both very similar teams. I think Michigan's got a better defense. I think Patterson's a better quarterback than Hornibrook, but that's why they play the games. I do say Jonathan Taylor, Wisconsin's running back, is better than Higdon or Evans or True Wilson. So they definitely have the better running back. So see how it goes. You can have a really good running back, Saquon Barkley, for instance, and that really helps your team. So Wisconsin loses to Michigan. Other college games, Georgia goes to LSU. I still pick Georgia. I just don't think LSU has enough offense. Last week they just got bogged down by Florida. So I think they're still going to be susceptible to that and not have a very good offense. So take Georgia. I'm going to take Oregon over Washington. A little bit of an upset there, obviously. But I'm not really sold on Washington too much, right? They could have lost. They lost to Notre Dame. They just don't look that great to me. If they lose and Colorado loses to USC, you're looking at like the Pac-12 being eliminated from the college football playoff, which I don't know if that really means too much because I still think Notre Dame's going undefeated. And then if an undefeated Notre Dame, they're going to get into the college football playoff. They have a huge fan base. They haven't been in the playoff yet. It would be great if Michigan could run the table and play them again, but that's a lot way down the line. Let's just focus on 1 week at a time. Speaking of the Irish, I do think they'd take over Pitt. They beat them at home. One of those classic 2:30 Eastern games up here in Michigan. So it's like, I always kind of like those games, really, because like the other games are like getting to halftime or so, and you can flip over and watch football. They're not all at halftime. But get back to the picks. Penn State, I think, will destroy Michigan State. I think Michigan State's season is hanging in the balance. Penn State will beat them. And then next week, it will be Michigan State's only redeeming quality for the rest of the season is to beat Michigan. So expect, like I've said over and over, expect Michigan State to play great against Michigan next week. But they lose to Penn State. Ohio State gets a cupcake game versus Minnesota. Their crossovers are so tough. Yeah, they don't have to play Wisconsin. To be fair, there aren't too many crossover tough games, but Minnesota is not a tough game. I'm taking Northwestern over Nebraska. I think Nebraska just keeps sliding. You saw the stories this week. Scott Frost is out, like, complaining about Oregon State and, you know, interfering with one of his players and banning him from transferring there. It's like, Scott Frost is just making a sideshow of himself now. It's like, just, your season's over. Go away. Just go away, go and be worthless, get some recruits in next year. We shouldn't hear any more from you, Scott Frost. Just shh. Next, Maryland. They'll recover quite well. They're a good team. Michigan just caught them at home with a really good defense. So Maryland to beat Rutgers. And I take Indiana over Iowa. I think Indiana is just right at the apex of the Big Ten East. They just can't get over top of the big 3 or 4 how the season's going, right? They always play Michigan tough. They stick in it with Ohio State for a while, and then, you know, the talent, the gap kind of catches up in the fourth quarter. Ohio State pulls away. Michigan pulls away, or like in overtime they won a couple years back, you know? So, Indiana to beat Iowa. I would change my mind. I went back and forth. I'm taking Purdue over Illinois. They're both teams that are like up in flux. Purdue started off kind of bad. They're a little bit rebounding. Illinois started bad, lost, came back. So this is kind of like a coin flip. I'm just going to go with Purdue. I said Notre Dame over Pitt. All right, there's my college picks. Let's go to the pros. Bengals versus Pittsburgh. That's a good AFC North game. I thought maybe the Bengals were showing their true identity last week when they were down multiple digits. I think it was double digits, and they came back to win. So I'm going to stick with that hot hand and go with the Bengals. It hurts me a little bit, but this is about picking the winners. Kansas City is going to go in and beat New England. New England does not have a good defense. Kansas City is an explosive offense that no one's been able to really stop. So I'm taking Kansas City to beat New England. Coming off a bye week, I'm taking Chicago, the Bears, to go down to Miami and beat the Dolphins. So Chicago over Miami. Minnesota's back at home. They're playing the Cardinals. Take Minnesota at home. And the Monday night game, Green Bay over San Francisco. Without, Jimmy Garoppolo, San Francisco's a sinking ship. Their season's basically over. So take Green Bay to get back on the winning track over San Francisco. I couldn't find my picks from last week, I'm sorry. Maybe my son, he likes to grab things and hide them. But it was not a good week for me either way. So, hopefully this week will be good for me. We'll see. Obviously, I don't care. I could get every other game wrong as long as Michigan wins. So, that's the big thing. Michigan wins. Hopefully they can win. Alright. So, those are my foolish picks for the week. Thanks for checking in. And any thoughts? What do you think about certain games? Let me know in the comments. I appreciate the comments. I get them every so often. I really do appreciate it. The views are also great, thanks. And thumbs up if you like this. If you got a topic you would like me to talk about, let me know. I am trying to think of a response for like the golden ticket, kind of like foolish opinion about something. I'm trying to come up with something that was a subscriber who wrote to me wondering about if I could come up with a new like segment or something like that. So, thumbs up if you like this. Subscribe. Thanks so much. Hey, we keep adding them one by one. Appreciate it. Thanks for watching, and as always, go blue, and I'll talk about the game probably, somewhere in the weekend, because the game's going to end at, about 11:30 midnight, so we'll have to wait till another day. All right, stay tuned for that. Thanks.